to hit record before I forgot. Okay, so to get started, I want you guys to go to the chat section for me. And I want you to tell me why you guys are here tonight. Why you are jumping on. Like I just said, it's Monday night. It's still light out. It's summertime. You could be sleeping. You could be outside. I'm sure a lot of you just got your kids down for bed. Why are you choosing to jump on and work this business tonight? I'm going to write it too. Oh, I love that, Taylor. Love that, Melissa and Courtney. Okay. So keep putting it on. If you're just getting on, we're putting our why we are showing up here tonight. Anna, who was on our team call last week, she was guest speaker. If you did not hear that, it was so good. It was just kind of that reminder of like, we choose to do this, right? Like no one is making us do these activities. Like, and so we need to make sure like we understand why we're showing up, or if we're not understanding it, then we're not going to show up. So we are going to jump right in with connecting. We're going to spend 10 minutes on this. And these are the kinds of things I do when I sit down and connect. You can do these, you can do whatever you want. I asked you guys last night to put a poll up in your story. It could be about anything. From what I put daily polls up in my story, because people love giving their opinion. Like they love giving their opinion. Today I did a poll, and of course that poll has to like go along with what you're talking about. I just started filing my taxes quarterly this year. So I did a poll in my story like, hey, do you file your taxes quarterly, or have you ever heard of it? I have gotten so much response from that simple question. And now I'm going to go through and just take the conversation further. I'm going to say who hit yes. And I'm going to say, that's awesome. How long have you been doing that for? Like, how long have you been filing quarterly? Or if they said no, I'll start a conversation that way. It can be as simple as, do you like working your arms or your legs? Okay, everyone who hit arms say, I love working my arms too. What are you doing for workouts right now? Like same thing for legs. So I never miss a day where I can put polls on my story, because that gets my audience used to it. And it's always an open door for me to respond to them. I always sit down and I add at least 5 people on Facebook. If I see, I try not to overthink this one. If I see we have 10 mutual friends and we look like we would be friends in real life, I add them. I don't think twice about it. I add them. I'm expanding my network. I'm never going to know. You could write their name down. I'm never going to know if they say yes or no or delete or whatever. Like, I don't care. I know if I'm putting out good, solid content and they are meant to do this with me, they will start watching, they will start interacting, and then we will have a natural conversation. Love comment on pictures and stories. So don't just go like a picture, comment on the picture. For your Instagram stories, what I really like to do is let me pull it up really quick. And then I promise we're going to get to working. But I like scrolling all the way over to like people's stories that I never watch. I'm just like scrolling all the way, I think, to the right. And that way, then I can start interacting with people that maybe are watching my stories, or I haven't watched their stories in a long time, and I can easily interact with them, because the people stories that you watch a lot, they're the first ones that always pop up. So we want to make sure we're not always just watching those people's stories. And then I love going to my friends list. Let's say who's on here. Jen, she's on here. I won't do this with your account, but I could go to your account. And if I go to your friends and see like, who are your friends? Okay, I'm not going to do that with like another coach, but if it was like a good friend, like a neighbor of mine, I would do that, because then we'd probably have a lot in common and I would follow those kind of people. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to put 10 minutes on my timer. I'm going to mute myself and we are going to get started, and we're just going to be social on social media. So timer is set. All right, ladies, timer is off. That's 10 minutes of connecting. Simple, simple things you can do every single day. And it doesn't even have to be 10 minutes. You can do 6 minutes, however long, but know those simple things right on this graphic, they add up so big. And just having those new conversations, adding those new faces, that is when the ripple effect starts to happen. All right, we're going to move on to inviting. Yay. And if you're scared to invite, my biggest thing was just get it done first. Get it out of the way, make it your first activity, do it first thing in the morning. Sometimes I remember I used to do that when I first started coaching. I would invite like first thing because I would put it off the rest of the day, and I would worry, is it going to be weird if they get a message from me at 6 a.m.? People don't really pay attention to that. I know I don't ever pay attention to like when people message me. So it's not weird. Put those fears away. Here are some invites that you can use some of mine. You can use whatever you want. Like I said earlier, I only invite from people from my stories and from my posts. And then I do a lot of polls on my Facebook. A lot of times people accidentally click on the polls, but it's still a really great conversation starter. So I'll put these in the chat section. So from my stories, this is probably my like go-to invite, because if they're in my stories, I view it as they are in my store. If you walk into an Apple store or any store with good customer service, you are going to have someone come up to you within the first couple of minutes and say, hey, is there anything I can help you with? That's how I view it as well, especially if they're consistently watching your stories. They are interested in something. And I also like to add in something personal. Usually if I know they just finished up with school, or I know they just got back from vacation, add in those personal touches. This is a invite that I do when people like my posts that I've posted about either my challenge groups or coaching. I always thank people for just liking it. No one's going to be upset with you for just liking and supporting your post. Hey, and I just wanted to see if you were interested. If not, no worries. Hope you're having a great day. Like, that's it. And then this other one from my polls, I think it's just a super harmless one. Hey, I saw you clicked on my poll. Maybe it was an accident. If not, I would love to give you more info. And a lot of times people will be like, oh yeah, it was an accident. And then I can just start a conversation. No worries at all. How are you doing? You know, just like keep the conversation going like you would if you were in person. Okay. So I'm going to set it maybe for 8 minutes, just so we stay a little bit more on track. And if you don't have a list going, write down a list really quick, or just go invite from your list and don't overthink it. Just send it and remember why you are here. The reason why you showed up tonight, you put it in the chat section, and that is what we're doing. So muting myself and starting the timer. Oh, one more thing. Put the people you invite, their names in the chat section after you invite them for extra accountability. All right. That is the timer for inviting. 8 minutes. Hopefully you were able to get your 5 invites out. That is what our business activity tracker says to do every day, 3 to 5, about 30 people a week. If that is overwhelming to you, I know I have shared before in videos in the past, like I used to at the beginning of coaching, I would just hammer out 30 invites on Monday, knowing that like I invited people to do this with me, and then I will water all of those seeds. I don't just invite them and leave them. That's where this next part comes in, which is the follow-ups. So a few things happen after you send those invites, right? You either get totally ghosted. And I love to make sure I give people the benefit of the doubt. I know we're all busy. I know kids can grab phones. I know they can quickly see a message at the checkout line at Target and then totally forget to respond. Or maybe they did see my message and just they don't want to talk to me, whatever. But I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. So this is, if after the invites that I've sent tonight, if I don't hear back from them in a day or two, I like to follow up with this. Hope my last message wasn't too forward or offended you. I just wanted to touch base and say thank you. Hope you have a great Monday. Because for my invites, I either thank them for watching my stories or for liking my posts. So that is and sometimes I still don't hear back from them, but a lot of times I'd say 80 to 90% of the time I get a message saying, oh my goodness, my kid grabbed my phone. I'm so sorry. And then I can continue a conversation. Let's say that someone is interested. They're like, oh yes, give me all the info. I'm ready to go. And then you give them all the info and of course they totally fall off. That is normal too. Nothing on you. I always just like to check back in with this. Hey, name. I just wanted to check back in. I'm not sure if you saw my last message. I know these can be easy to miss, especially if they're not a mama, don't put mama, busy mama. Hope you're having a great Monday. You know, again, give people the benefit of the doubt. Don't be afraid to check in with them a couple times. And then here is one for like the next month. So maybe they never got back to you either of these times, but they're still watching your stories. I like to send this one. Hey, pretty mama, I'm not sure if you saw my post last night, but I'm kicking off my June boot camp this week. I know we've chatted about things before and it wasn't great timing. I didn't know if it might be better timing for you. Hope you had a great weekend. Okay, so just touching base. The follow-ups are where the magic is. Like the invites and connecting are so important for planting those seeds, but the follow-ups are where the yeses are found. I heard a statistic, I'm pretty sure I just saw it on like an Instagram reel, but I think it's probably pretty true that 3% of people are ready for something the first conversation. 3%, that's 97% of people are not ready until you've watered your seeds, until you've built that relationship, until you've followed up 7 to 8 times. So the follow-ups are where that happens. I'm going to just do 5 minutes for follow-ups. People maybe that you've touched base with last month, that maybe you invited back in January, send some of these messages to them. It's not icky. It's not salesy. It's more icky if you just shoot them an invite and then they never hear from you again. So muting myself and setting for 5 minutes. All right, ladies, that was 5 minutes right there for follow-ups. Again, when I was a newer coach, I kind of found it easy, just like with my inviting, doing that on one day, my connecting, doing that on another day, and my follow-ups, I would do that on a separate day. So if that works better for you, or if you just like doing little chunks, figure out a way that is sustainable for you. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. The last thing I just wanted to, I know we're over 9 o'clock, so I might not give us much time, but I at least want to talk about it, is crafting up a coaching post. Because if you never talk about coaching, people don't know about it. And why would they want to do it? That was my biggest aha moment when I was a year into this, sitting as an Emerald coach, trying to build my business. I had like a come to Jesus moment where it's like, Brooke, you are like almost ashamed to admit on social media to friends and family that you're a coach. Why would anyone ever want to join you if you are not proudly wearing the title of a coach? So I just want to give you some ideas tonight. I have some prompts for you that maybe I'll put in the chat section here in a second. I always love like snapshots of me working. I think are really, not me, but like of people working are really important. This one is of Dana working. I love that it's on her bed. This was me, like my whole first 2 years, I just did it at my dining room table, showing people how they can fit it in. Here are just some other ones that I snagged from mine. I know a lot of you, if you are newer, you might not have like pictures, group pictures yet, but like using group pictures and talking about that moment. This one right here in the middle was, I was prepping for a team call, also away making dinner that night. And I was just talking about like how I love that, like I have the best of both worlds with coaching and being at home. And then this one, I was like sitting on the deck, sun tanning and working the business, but showing people that and like showing them that is when I fit this in the day. So here are 9 prompts for you that, or 5, not 9, 5 prompts for you that just can get your wheels turning tonight. I'll put them in the chat section, or if you want to screenshot this, whatever you want to do, these are just great. If you would write a journal and like reflect on these over the next few days, write them up. There are 5 coaching posts that you could post every single day for a week, or maybe post like every other day for a week and have awesome content. So they are, what is your proudest moment in this business so far? It doesn't have to be like, I signed my first coach. It could just be like something with even your workout. What is a time when you failed and learned something valuable from it with coaching? That is a huge, huge one, because people are so scared of failure. And so you showing them that like, yeah, I failed and I messed up, but I learned this, and like, that is way better, is huge. And then number 3, what is the number 1 objection that you hear about coaching? Turn that into a post. I always do that with challenge groups or coaching. If I hear an objection, and that means that I have not addressed it enough, because I don't want anyone giving me objections about anything. I'm a busy mama just like everybody else, with kids and pregnancy and sickness and whatever. If I hear an objection, like I will always address it in posts in my stories, so that people don't come to me with that objection, because I'm going to have already said it. Number 4, what's the exact moment you knew that you love this? I think that is another huge one for people. Again, it doesn't have to be about the business, but just more Beachbody. And then, why are you here tonight? So those, I am probably going to hop off because I need to head to bed, but those, I would screenshot those. I put them in the chat section and reflect on those, journal them up, write a post. I know for me, like I can't like do these on the fly. I know there's some of you who can like Dana is super talented. She can just be sitting right next to me and like type up like this amazing post while we're talking. I'm like, how did you just do that? I have to be like in the zone, like no one talk to me, and think of a post and put words to it. So I get if you're like that. I am too. And it does take time to figure out how to put words to this business. But just like your workouts, the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. So I am going to stop share. Does anyone have any questions about, I know we just kind of hammered out a lot with connecting and inviting follow-ups. Does anyone have any questions about what we did or anything like that, or any other, or areas that you're struggling with on the business activity tracker that maybe I didn't cover? Okay. Will we be able to see this presentation after this call? Yes, I can post this to our team page, and I'm also going to repost this recording to our team page. Sorry, I can't talk. So, all right, you guys. Well, thank you so much for jumping on and working. It's always so fun to do it together because we're never alone. We're never alone in this business. So make it a good night, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.